Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Success Academy. I'm Shashan Dias, and in this video we are going to be talking about the different types of verbs. මේ වීඩියෝ එකේ අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ ක්‍රියාපද වර්ග ගැන. Right? ඉතින් අපි directly වීඩියෝ එකට යමු. Alright, so in this video, we are going to talk about verbs. Alright, so we have discussed the parts of speech. We have discussed the 8 parts of speech. First, we spoke about nouns. Then we spoke about pronouns. And today, we are going to be talking about the verb or verbs. Alright. If you haven't watched our previous videos on the different parts of speech, how we came to this position basically. So we spoke about the parts of speech, nouns, pronouns, and now we are talking about verbs. So if you haven't checked out our previous videos, please go and check it out and then come back to this one. All right. Okay. So we're going to be discussing a few things today. We're going to start with a small activity, right? And then we'll come back to that same activity at the end. So I have not taught you anything about verbs yet. So I'm going to start out with a little activity to kind of help you understand what verbs are. And then we'll come back at the end to see if you understood properly the objective of the lesson. Okay. Then we're going to talk about what are verbs, what are action verbs, what are linking verbs, and then what are be verbs and sense verbs. All right. Okay, so definitely one of the main objective of today's lesson is to define the meaning of a verb. Okay, that means to understand what is a verb. Verb එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්න ඕනේ. Provide various examples of action and linking words. So you should be able to understand what are action verbs, what are linking verbs. You should be able to provide examples for those. Construct sentences with correct verb usage. That means by using the correct verbs, you should be able to create sentences. All right. Okay, so this is a small activity. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to maybe comment down below what each person is doing. Right. So it's basically the same person, Aaron, right? So what is Aaron doing in each of the different instances? So now you can see here that he's doing some kind of action. Here, sorry, accident. Here again, he's doing some kind of action. Here he's doing some kind of action. Here he's doing some kind of action. Here he's doing some kind of action, right? So now today what we are going to learn is called verbs. So verbs means action words, right? verb එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ ක්‍රියාපදයක්, right? යම්කිසි ක්‍රියාවක් කරනවා නම් අපි ඒකට verb එකක් කියලා කියනවා. එතකොට මේ ඉන්න Aaron කරන එක එක ක්‍රියාවන් තමයි මෙතන අපි පෙන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මෙතන යා මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? ඒක පහලින් කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න. මෙතනින් මොනවද කරන්නේ? පහලින් කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න. මෙතන මොනවද කරන්නේ? කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න. මෙතන මොනවද කරන්නේ? මෙතන මොනවද කරන්නේ කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න, right? එතකොට අපි මේකට අන්තිමට ඇවිල්ලා බලමු. මම එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දෙන්න, right? මෙතන මේක මෙහෙමයි මේක කියන්නේ කියන එක මම අන්තිමට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දෙන්න, right? හැබැයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා නම් මේක pause කරලා කමෙන්ට් එකක් දාන්න. Right. So first we are going to understand what are verbs. So a verb is a word that expresses an action or a state of being. Right? verb එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ එක්ක ක්‍රියාවක් ගැන කතා කරන දෙයක්, එහෙම නැත්නම් යම්කිසි දෙයක ස්ටේට් එක හඟවන පදයක්. යම්කිසි දෙයක් ඒ මොහොතේ තියෙන විදිය හඟවන පදයක්. Right? So a verb is an action or a state of being. Right? Together with nouns, verbs are the primary elements of a sentence or phrase. නාමපද වලට අමතරව තියෙන අනිත් primary element, primary ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රාථමික ගුණාංගය තමයි sentence එකක තියෙන අනිත් ප්‍රාථමික අංශය තමයි verb එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? So verbs are basically the primary elements of any sentence. Right? So you need to have a noun. In almost, I would say 99.9% of sentences, you always have a noun because there's always a person that is doing something. Right? A person, an animal, a place, a city. There's always a noun in a sentence. Right? And usually, if you are talking about a person, a place, sorry, a person, an animal, and if they are doing some sort of action, then that action is called a verb. So a verb is any action or a state of being. All right. Look at this. Aaron danced to his favorite music. The verb danced in the sentence above expresses an action of the subject Aaron. So danced is a verb. Aaron is a member of the school's dance club. The verb is in the sentence above expresses the state of being of the subject Aaron. Aaron is a member of the school's dance club, right? So is, we call this a be verb, right? We will learn this later on, but it shows the state of being, right, of Aaron in the school's dance club, right? Aaron school's dance club එකේ member කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්න තමයි අපි මේ is කියන word එක මෙතනදී use කරන්නේ. එතකොට Aaron a member of school's dance club කියන්න බෑ. අපි Aaron is a member of the school's dance club. All right? So that is why we use the word is. Okay? All right, so verbs and time. Using verbs, one can identify whether an action occurred in the past, is occurring in the present, or will occur in the future. Verbs express time through these tense forms, right? So you have the past tense, you have the present tense, and you have the future tense, okay? So according to the tenses, you know that there are 12 different types of tenses. So we will discuss that later under sentence structures. But today, all you have to know is from the verb, we can identify whether something happened in the past, the present, or the future. So for example, here it says Aaron played basketball. Aaron played basketball, right? So played is in the past tense, right? Played is in the past tense. Aaron plays basketball, right? Aaron plays basketball. Plays means the present tense, right? He habitually plays basketball. Aaron plays basketball, right? Aaron will play basketball, right? Now we are talking about the future. Aaron will play basketball, right? In the future, Aaron will play basketball, right? So past, present, future. So we will discuss this later when we talk about the 12 tenses. But for now, all you need to know is with verbs, you can identify whether a sentence happened in the past, the present, or the future. All right. Okay, action verbs, right? Action verbs means kriya pada, basically, right? So any action that we take, whether it is physically or mentally. So for example, when I'm talking, that's a physical action. So I'm actually talking to you. මම කතා කරනවා. මේක physical action එකක්, right? නමුත් මම කතා කරන්න කලින් යම් කිසි දෙයක් හිතනවා. I'm thinking. That thought is also an action. ඒ මම හිතන දෙයත් action එකක්, ක්‍රියාවක්, right? අපි හිතනකොටත් ඒක ක්‍රියාවක්. එතකොට අපි mentally කරන දේවල් වලටත් අපි action verbs කියලා කියනවා. අපි mentally කරන දේවල් වලටත් අපි action verbs කියලා කියනවා. An action verb describes what someone or something does. Remember that action verbs are not always physical actions. They can also be mental actions. Aaron read a book. The verb read expresses a physical action done by Aaron, right? So read means read a book. පොතක් කියවනවා, right? පොතක් කියවනවා කියන එක physical action එක, right? Aaron thought of an idea. Aaron අදහසක් ගැන හිතුවා. හිතුවා කියන එක mental action එකක්. The verb thought expresses a mental action done by the subject Aaron. Do you understand? Mental action එකක් තමයි මෙතනදී අපි කතා කරන්නේ. ඒතකොට අපි හිතින් හිතන දෙයක් උනත් action verb එකක් විදියට තමයි අපි ගණන් ගන්නෙ. Right? දැන් මම examples කිහිපයක් දීලා තියෙනවා. Run, skip, play, sing, draw, walk, eat, sleep, watch, wave. මේ ඔක්කොම physical actions. Run means දුවන්න. Skip means පනිනවා. Right? Skipping කරනවා, පනිනවා. Play means සෙල්ලම් කරනවා. Sing means සින්දු කියනවා. Draw means අඳිනවා. Walk means ඇවිදිනවා. Eat means කනවා. Sleep නිදා ගන්නවා. Watch is බලනවා. Wave means අත වනනවා. Right? All of these are physical actions. Now we go on to look at some mental verbs, mental actions. No. No means දන්නවා. Right? Realize තේරුම් ගන්නවා. Right? තේරුම් යනවා. Hope අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. Right? Decide අපි තීරණයක් ගන්නවා. Believe අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. Imagine අපි ඔළුවෙන් හිතලා බලනවා. Right? Guess අපි අනුමාන කරනවා. Feel අපිට දැනෙනවා. Understand අපිට තේරෙනවා. Recognize අපි අඳුර ගන්නවා. Right? අපි අඳුන ගන්නවා. මේවා ඔක්කොම අපි හිතින් කරන දේවල්. හිතින් කරන දේවල්. හැබැයි මේවත් action words ma tamai, right? So physical verbs and mental verbs. Okay. Then you have linking verbs. Linking verbs express a state of being and relates the subject to other parts of a sentence. Be verbs and sense verbs are considered linking verbs. අපි සාමාන්‍ය ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා ඇති මේ linking words කියන වචනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ සමහර අහලා නැතුව ඇති. Be verbs අහලා නැතුව ඇති. නමුත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවා auxiliary verbs කියලා. auxiliary verbs කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා. especially ඔයගොල්ලෝ tenses කියන ඉගෙන ගද්දි auxiliary verbs කියලා අහලා ඇති. right? එතකොට auxiliary verbs කියලා කියන්නේත් linking verbs වර්ගයක්. be verbs තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි auxiliary verbs කියලා කියන්නේ. මෙන්න තියෙන උදාහරණයක්. Be verbs are the most commonly used linking verbs. Aaron was a basketball team captain in high school. The be verb was expresses a state of being of the subject Aaron. මේ was කියන එක එතකොට be verb එකක්. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ එයා ඒ කාලේ basketball captain කියන අර්ථය දෙන්න තමයි අපි මේ was කියන word එක use කරන්නේ. ඒ කාලේ එයා basketball captain කෙනෙක්. Right? එතකොට මේ tense එක වෙනස් වෙනවා අපි use කරන be word එකත් එක්ක. අපි කිව්වොත් Aaron is a basketball team captain in high school. එතකොට එයා දැනටත් basketball team captain කෙනෙක්. හැබැයි was කියන එකෙන් මේක වෙනස් වෙනවා අතීත කාලෙට යනවා. අනාගත කාල කරන්නත් පුළුවන් Aaron will be a basketball captain in high school. high school වල මෙයා basketball captain කෙනෙක් වෙන්න යනවා කියන අර්ථය අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Other be verbs are am, is, are, was, were, be, been, and being. Right? There are more, but these are some of the common ones. Right? Okay, so next we have regular and irregular verbs. So regular verbs follow a predictable pattern when conjugated. So you have the basic form of the verb, you have the past tense form of the verb, you have the past participle form of the verb. So you have, for example, walk, walked, walked, right? You have accept, accepted, accepted, right? You have act, acted, acted, right? You have arrive, arrived, arrived, right? So it follows a regular pattern. It doesn't change. If you say walk, it's walked and walked. If you say act, it's act and acted. If you say act, it's acted and acted, right? But irregular verbs do not follow these standard rules. So for example, go, went, gone, right? You have awake, awoke, awoken, right? Then you have become, became, become. You have bet, bet, bet. You have bite, bit, bitten. So it doesn't follow a regular pattern. So irregular verbs, you have to look at, follow, and study. But regular verbs follow the same pattern. So we'll learn more about this as we talk about the tenses in the future. All right. Okay, then you have sense verbs. A sense verb describes one of 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, or touch. Other verbs that can be considered as linking verbs are the following: appear, grow, seem, become, look, smell, feel, remain, sound, stay, taste, turn. Aaron became a professional basketball player. The sense verb became expresses a state of being of the subject, Aaron. All right. All right. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below. All right. And if you found this useful, do share this with a friend. All right. So thank you everyone for listening to this video and watching this video. All right. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please let us know in the comments below. Share this with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to stay updated with the new videos that we send out. So with that, we are done for today. Till our next video, keep practicing.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war, 'cause you're so much stronger than you've ever been before. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock.